Okay, welcome back to Pimpy's Investment Chat. As usual, I want to just let people know that if you're watching this video and you need information on the Iraqi dinar or the Vietnam dong or anything like that, any types of different types of investments, I encourage you to come to our Facebook group. It's free. Most of the stuff that you guys pay for in Patreon can be found here in this group for free. Just go to Pimpy's Investment Chat. I'll leave a link in my description. Feel free to follow it. Come on in, join us. There's all kinds of information on here, news articles regarding the Iraqi dinar, news articles involving the Vietnam dong. There's all kinds of things in here I think people will be very interested in. But not just that, also cryptocurrencies as well as other things. So feel free. I'll, again, leave you a link, and then feel free to come and join the group. There's a lot of great information in here. A lot of it, like I said, people are paying for in Patreon groups around all over the place. I want to bring something to your attention that's grabbing, or I should say, bring something to your attention that's grabbed my attention. Cryptocurrencies have been on the move. And this is what I want to see. There's two things that I think is happening here that we should be talking about. Now, those people who are in the world of cryptocurrencies, you guys are a lot more knowledgeable than I am. I'm sure you can have some comments on this. I know just enough to be dangerous, but not enough to be really knowledgeable. I continue to learn. So I want to talk about something. Bitcoin has halving that's coming up. For those of you who don't know what halving is some of these cryptocurrencies are mined, right? So people spend a lot of money mining cryptocurrencies, and as a result, they're rewarded. They're rewarded with a lot of money. Okay, but when halving takes place, halving means the amount of rewards that they were getting are then cut in half. Okay, look at everybody. As soon as Bitcoin hit 9,300, you see a sell-off happen. You can see it starting to drop a little bit. Okay, anyways, so halving is, a lot of people spend a lot of money to mine these different cryptocurrencies. Of course, one of the most popular ones is Bitcoin. We know that sometime in the middle of May, the halving process is going to happen. Here's what I could tell you about the halving. In order for miners to continue to mine Bitcoin, it's going to have to double in its price right now. There's no way it could stay at the level of $9,200, $9,300 and miners continue to mine this, because it gets to a point where it's more expensive to mine than it is to continue to mine. So instead of the rewards helping these people become profitable, or how they're making money off of mining, it gets to a point after halving where it costs more than you're making. So one of two things are going to happen. Either Bitcoin's going to crash altogether because the miners are going to stop mining. Right, 18 million. There's 21 million we know out there, right? So there's still about 3 million, just a little under 3 million left to be mined. But that's not going to happen. Bitcoin has to move. So I think that's why we're seeing one of the moves happen now. The other thing is this: you got to understand that the bulk of, or the majority of the mining that's taking place is done by some very rich people in China. All right. So, I can't imagine them allowing their investments to crash. So what I think we're going to see happen is a huge push. You're going to see this start to make a run like we did in 2017. This is just my opinion. I'm not a professional financial advisor. I'm not a lawyer or anything like that. I'm just expressing my opinion based on a lot of different things I've read. Now, those people who are into cryptocurrencies, you guys will be able to chime in on this because you might know a lot more than I do. But just let me know. Does this make sense? If halving takes place, that means the rewards that are given to those who mine Bitcoins are now cut in half. But in order for it to be lucrative, in order for them to be profitable for miners, in order for Bitcoin to continue to be mined, this price cannot stay here. It has to double. It's going to have to double in order for it to continue to be profitable for miners. If it's not profitable, who the hell is going to mine it? And keep in mind, a bulk of these people are in China. So what do we see happening in China right now? We know the coronavirus is affecting the public. A lot of people are relying right now on cryptocurrencies to buy stuff that they need or to get things, okay? you're seeing a lot of movement because a lot of these people can't get out in public right now. We're seeing a lot of quarantine happening. A lot of people are dying. There's a lot of panic. So people don't want to go out in public. So instead of going out in public and risking getting sick, they're taking their cryptocurrencies and they're purchasing the things they need and having them brought to them. Okay? So that just makes sense. But there are some plateaus that I see we're having trouble breaking through. Look, as soon as Bitcoin hit 9,300, it started going down again. But I think you're going to see it push through. As a matter of fact, I think we're going to see a run. This is just my opinion. So in May, between now and May, I think you're going to see Bitcoin more than double. We're going to get back towards those ranges we were in 2017. And cryptocurrency people know this. They know what I'm talking about. In order for Bitcoin to be worth mining, it has to more than double, or else the rewards are too low. Okay? Another thing, too, we're starting to see is that when Bitcoin starts going up, it brings the other people along with them, the other popular altcoins, all right? But the one that I've now achieved my goals as far as the amount of cryptocurrencies that I wanted on the cryptocurrencies that I like. In other words, I set a goal for how many I wanted to own of each of these cryptocurrencies. And the one I'm moving to right now is Ethereum. I think I might be a little bit late to this game, but I'm still going for it. I think the goal is to own about 30. Ethereum is the goal that I'm setting for myself. That's going to be really expensive. It's going to take some time, but there's a reason for this. All right. Ethereum. So, hat tip to Chico Crypto. He's a guy I do watch a lot. There's a lot of people don't like him because this guy, look at, he doesn't blow smoke up people's ass. This guy will tell you exactly what's going on in the crypto world, and he speaks his mind. You got to respect that. So I was listening to Chico Crypto talk about something that's coming up here, and that Bitcoin is on the Ethereum platform. But there's and I'll show you some pictures here in a minute. But there's this something going on with Bitcoin. I think if we don't see Bitcoin double here between now and May, I just don't understand how it's going to be profitable for miners to continue to mine this. That whole operation is really expensive. And a bulk of the people that are mining these coins are rich already. They're already rich. They got money. I can't imagine these people holding all these Bitcoin coins are going to allow this to happen. I think you're going to see it more than double. Okay, that's just my opinion. But what I'm hoping happens is it drags up the rest of the cryptocurrencies with it. Okay, we've seen Bitcoin move from XRP move from 13 cents to 15 to 18, and now it's all the way to 25. It's slowly moving and creeping up. A lot of these are. We're going to see this continue to happen. But I think the coronavirus is contributing to this small movement and the fact that Bitcoin is getting ready to be halving here in May. Okay, so Chico Crypto was talking about something that I thought was really interesting, okay? He was talking about this thing called Bitcoin on Ethereum, the TBTC. Now, I'm trying to learn a little bit about this, but it's very interesting for one reason. Okay, so Bitcoin, here we go, the TBTC. Okay, so if you got some time to spare, like this article says, go there to the specs and read about it. TBTC maintains Bitcoin's hard money properties across decentralized finance. It's the first major DApp built on the Keep network, leveraging Keep's infrastructure for censorship, inflation, and seizure resistance. Okay, remember I was talking about this. I don't know how much I trust this being legit. But like my friend said, look, man, if you owe money for a fine or, you got some kind of lawsuit against you, small claims or whatever, child support, it doesn't make a difference. If you move all your stuff to cryptocurrencies, it's seizure resistance, okay? And I thought that was kind of funny, but it makes sense. So TBTC is your Bitcoin available on Ethereum. It's decentralized, liquid, and more importantly, secure. Okay, so the thing about this is the TBTC is a one-for-one Bitcoin-backed ERC20, the first to be minted via decentralized protocol. This means that if you have one TBTC, you can be confident that you can redeem it for one Bitcoin. It's a sidechain or supply peg. Whoa, is this like peg to the dollar? Yes, it's what it is. We're talking about the rate being pegged, right? TBTC isn't synthetic. It's not the price of Bitcoin on it. I want you to think about what the wording here is, and I'm going to show you what my theory is, okay? It's not the price of Bitcoin on Ethereum. It is Bitcoin on Ethereum, bringing the extensibility of Bitcoin to DeFi. So there's something about this wording. I played with this, something that caught my attention, and I'm wondering if this is what it means. It's not the price on Bitcoin. It's not the price of Bitcoin on Ethereum. It is Bitcoin on Ethereum. So here's my thought on this whole situation, and that is this: once this happens and this movement takes place, we're going to see the value of Ethereum jump. I think you're going to see Ethereum become, because Ethereum is Bitcoin, next level Bitcoin. We know this. The Chico Crypto was saying that the old school developers are working, the ones that were working on Bitcoin are now working on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. See, so before in the olden days, or I don't want to say olden days like it's really old, but before you usually see, or even now, you'll see people who work for Ethereum work on Ethereum. People work for XRP only work on XRP. You don't usually see them cross over into other cryptocurrencies, but these developers are working both with BTC and Ethereum. So if it's talking about its liquidity, if it's talking about its stability that's crossing over, what I think you're going to see happen, I think you're going to see Ethereum jump up in value. I think you're going to see Ethereum become the next Bitcoin. You're going to see the values of Ethereum really jump up. So now I'm focused on Ethereum myself personally. Again, this is just my personal opinion, all right, based on some of the stuff that I'm reading. Now, this is one area that I'm still not very knowledgeable in. I'm continuing to learn. It's really tricky, all right? I've met my goals. I've set goals for how many of cryptocurrencies that I want for each one of these cryptocurrencies. So in other words, the ones I like XRP, Ethereum, and XLM. So I've set a goal for each of these. And the only one I need to meet now is just Ethereum. My goal is to get 30 of these coins. Okay, so that is my goal. That's going to be costly and it's going to take time. Okay, but Bitcoin Cash always grabs my interest because it seems to perform as well as Bitcoin does when it does. As a matter of fact, if you look at the 52-week average, for those of you who don't know what this means they take the average between the lowest point and the highest point of each of these cryptocurrencies over the last 52 weeks, and then you see this little blue marker that tells you where this current rate is right here, where it stands between the lowest and the highest points over the last 52 weeks. As you can see at 9,200, Bitcoin is sitting at probably just a little over 50% or halfway to its high point that it's been in the last 52 weeks. You also look over here at Bitcoin Cash. It is past the halfway mark and is about 2/3 of the way to its highest mark, all right? If you look down here, look at this. Ethereum Classic. Its high point was 1191. It's sitting at 1185. It's almost to its highest levels, which is very interesting. But for the most part, most of them are sitting on the low side with a couple of exceptions, some of them at the halfway mark. So just kind of keep an eye on this. If for those of you who are not knowledgeable what the 52-week average does, it shows you the current performance of and this happens on stock too, so it's not just cryptocurrencies, but stock does this as well. This gives you a quick overview of where the value of this particular investment sits over its last 52-week average. Usually when it's low over here, that's a buy mark. You go, oh, buy because it's sitting on the low side. All right. If it's sitting all the way on the high side, usually like that's too high. You want it to drop down or go a little bit lower than its high side. That's just some of the tricks you learn. But I have a feeling that Ethereum is really going to jump up in value, and we probably won't see it to the end of 2020. So it's going to give me time to. I think you're good. Don't get me wrong. Even though I don't think it's going to happen to the end of 2020. It's not going to stay where it is. You're going to see it slowly climb, but come the end of 2020, I think you're going to see that sucker really take off. I think you're going to see Bitcoin-like jumps, okay? As a matter of fact, we're going to see huge jumps here before May. Ethereum most likely is going to get dragged up with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is going to satisfy its miners, and we're talking about all the rich people in China, it's going to have to jump in value. It cannot stay where it is right now, okay? So that's just something I wanted to kind of talk about and bring up. But TBTC is something that I'm reading more about. I like it a whole lot. But I think the real goal is to grab as much Ethereum as I possibly can before the major jump really takes off. This is that time, in my opinion, when Bitcoin was this low and you're like, oh, it might be too high for me, and you didn't jump on it, and then it hit 20,000, you're kicking yourself in the ass for not getting them when you had a chance. If anything, grab about 30 of them if you have the money to do it, and just sit on it, all right? That's what I suggest you do. That's just my opinion, okay? Also, somebody in the group sent me this picture because we keep talking about, do you think this thing with the Iraqi dinar is going to happen? Okay, and I said this several times. I think the real goal is they need to get Iraq on its feet. Kick off the damn training wheels, let the seat go, and let them ride. You know what I mean? If they crash, they crash, pick them up and let them go again. If they ride, they ride. We know that Iraq is part of the Arab Monetary Fund, that group there. We also know that the Arab Monetary Dinar, or the our Arab Accounting Dinar, is going to be their cryptocurrency, or their dinar, I should say, not cryptocurrency. The Arab accounting dinar is going to be their currency that they use to do trading with one another. It's going to have a rate. It's going to be set between the all the nations that are involved in here, because the way it's set up right now, it's not conducive for them to do business. Other countries are preventing them from doing trades within the Arab nation. This is not good business for them whatsoever. Not to mention the huge difference between each of these Arab nations' currency values. Is a huge difference, all right? So it wouldn't be effective to do trades. So we know that Iraq needs to get their shit together. We know they need to kick the training wheels off and get them going. We also know that the Arab Monetary Fund is wanting Iraq to get their crap together so they could join. They're really one of the people that's holding them up. All right. So people say, do you think that's real? Do you think that's real? And then Susan in my group sent me this. This is a year old, but I want you to see this. So last February the 9th in Dubai, keynote speaker Christina Lagarde was there. She was the representative, the co-host by the IMF. She was the head of the IMF at the time. And look who she was meeting with, the Arab Monetary Fund. Now, I will go through YouTube and see if I can find where this conference was, whether it was videotaped or not, because I'm curious to hear what she has to say. But I noticed this isn't the first time that she's lined herself up to go meet with and speak with the Arab Monetary Fund. I just never had proof of it. I've heard rumors of it. But here's the deal. I think she's aware that the nations, all part of the Arab Monetary Fund, their goal is to all get on the same page as far as their currencies are concerned. We're talking about the richest nations of the world. These are all oil-producing countries, all right? So you can only imagine what happens if they could learn to get along, stop bickering with one another, and realize how powerful they are with all the oil that they have. They really could set the market in a lot of different ways, all right? Anyways, I was happy to get this picture because I was like, good, this is one of the things I wanted. But let me see if I can find any kind of YouTube out there, because I'm curious to hear what she has to say, what they were discussing. This is her fourth annual meeting, so there's got to be videos out there. I just haven't looked yet. But anyways, look, this should tell you something. I told you this before, and the IMF is holding the strings of what's going on with the Iraqi dinar. They're the ones that's going to set the rate. They're the one that's going to get it recognized internationally for it to be traded on a Forex platform. All right. So this is a good thing, man. So there's a lot of things going on at one time. I just thought it was interesting that she sent this to me. It's about a year old, but the fact that, she's been meeting with the monetary fund is interesting to me nonetheless. But again, for those of you who are into cryptocurrencies, man, I don't know. I think what you're going to see is you're going to see the value of Bitcoin has to go up. So you people out there that know a lot about cryptocurrencies, let me know in the comments if I'm right or wrong. Just halving. In order for Bitcoin, they're going to cut the rewards to miners in half. That makes, if they do that, that means it's not profitable for miners. Tell me if I'm wrong. And if that's the case, in order for it to be profitable, the value of the coin has to go up. And I mean like almost double, because the halving of where it's going means the coin would have to double. all right, in value. And again, we're talking about a bulk of these people are millionaires already in China that are doing this. Very interesting. And leave me your opinion on what I'm saying about Ethereum. I think I'm right with the TBTC coming, and they're doing all this on Ethereum platform. I think you're going to see Ethereum really, really jump up in value. Remember, Ethereum is the next level for BTC. All right. Anyways, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. Leave a comment because I'm curious about some of these things. I'm trying to learn, but I think I'm right on the Bitcoin. It has to go up in value with halving coming in May. In order for miners, for it to be profitable for miners, it has to double. Ethereum as well, I think, is gonna ride that coattail, and I think you're gonna see Ethereum start jumping up there in numbers like we see on Bitcoin. That's the next coin to take off, in my opinion. Let me know what you think. Again, hit the like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment. I'm curious to hear what you got to say. Again, I'm going to leave a link to the group in Facebook. I encourage you to come join. There is a lot of information in here that's shared for free. So again, just come join and let me know what you think. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.